So we just got this glass stove a little bit ago, and so I've only used it a couple times. It's been pretty interesting. It's definitely an adjustment because the knobs are here instead of where they used to be, which was in the middle. And it's an adjustment to like get to see what number you need it on to kind of get it hot enough to cook. I'm making some pancakes today, so for this one, I have it on 3, like 3.5, almost 4. Or is it on 4? And it basically looks like it's on 4. So I have it on 4 because I realized I needed a little bit higher to cook things. And for the sausages over here, I have it at 4 as well. But I'm actually going to put it to 5. I was making soup last night, and I noticed it needed to be a little bit higher to get a good boil or a lot more heat. So far so good. I'm about to put the pancakes in and see how they cook. So it's only been like 3 minutes and it's already starting to get bubbles. Also over here, they're getting brown. I turned them over, and I'm documenting this because not everybody knows what it's like to cook on a glass stove. I definitely didn't even know this was glass. I've seen it before. I didn't realize it was glass. So it's definitely an adjustment, but I think number 4 is a good number for getting the heat up enough for pancakes. I did spray it with some olive oil and put some butter in before I even put in the pancakes to give it some time to get hot even more. But it's looking good so far, especially over there. So I turned one, even though it didn't have a ton of bubbles. When I was looking underneath it, that one looked ready. This one needs a little bit more time, but this one looked ready. So I turned it. I like to do a little peek like this one. Looks like it's basically ready. And I do it twice, so like even though I just turned it, I might turn it back over just to get this a little darker, but I don't want the whole thing to get super duper dark the first round. That's just how I make pancakes, and that one needs a little bit more time. So I give them a little time to cook on that side and then turn it one more time. These are doing great, almost done. For the most part, these are turkey sausages. I really like getting this one because they taste so good. And they come in a pack of 12. There's 6 in each little packet. Alright, so I took the first 2 out already. They are doing good. They're nice and done. And now these ones are coming out. They look good to my liking. And these are done completely. So I already turned off the burner. And it does this thing where it keeps its light on when it's still hot because the burner was on for a while, which is cool. And this version also has a light showing you that the thing is still on because I have the pancake eye still on. So here's that. I'm going to make a few more. One thing I do also, like after the first pancake, if the stove gets too hot or whatever, I will fill the pot, take it off the stove, fill it with water, and then drain that so that they don't get any of the burnt little stuff on it. I don't like when the pancakes start getting that burnt look from the last one. I got some strawberries and blueberries that I put some baking soda in, and I let them sit in water for about 10 minutes. So time to rinse them out. This is how it looks once it gets all the bubbles. The other one didn't have that for some reason. But the only thing I don't like is sometimes when I wait for all the bubbles, they get a lot darker. But they're still good. In the camera, they look a little bit darker than they are. But I like them when they're kind of like this golden color. That's what I be searching for. These ones will still be good though. They don't care. My boys will still eat it. They like pancakes. As long as they taste the same and they're not burnt, they love them. So the pancakes I'm using are the Kodiak power cakes, and I didn't do the regular one that they have up here for flapjacks. I did the power up with more protein one. So I replaced the water with milk, and I also added an egg to it, and I added cinnamon and vanilla as well, just for flavor, and my kids usually really like that. Also say this light, when it's still on, like you can't see it right now, the red light, it's saying that this is still a little hot. It really is. So it's actually good, because if you wanted your food to stay, especially if you had a lid for it, to stay a little warm, you didn't want it to start getting cold right away, you just wanted to wait a little bit to eat, it's good for that. It does retain the heat. Like when I put my hand here, I can still feel the heat pretty good right there. So that's one thing I really like about this glass stove as well. I ended up lowering the heat the second round, because I realized even though it's good in the beginning to have it like around 4, because it takes a while to get started up, it can't stay there or it'll get too hot. So I turned it down to about 3, and that's helping a lot. I ended up burning 2 on accident. Said evidence here, because I was talking to my kids, and they got burnt. It's okay. I'm making 2 more. This time I didn't clean the pan. I just used this area because it wasn't as dirty, and I just used the spray, the cooking spray this time. But it's still cooking pretty fast with it just being at 3. So you could probably do 2.5, 3 after a while, once you see it's getting really hot. Like, you probably can't see, but there's a lot of steam. If you could look closely, there's a lot of steam coming from the pan. So it's cooking pretty fast this time. I'll probably be able to turn these pretty soon. Yeah, like they're already changing colors just because the pan is hot. So even though they didn't have a lot of bubbles, it's a good time to turn them. You just got to pay attention to them sometimes. And these will be done very shortly. I love when my kids actually play well while I'm making breakfast. It makes me so happy, because, just having them be creative is just the best. Believe it or not, I am 30 years old with these 2 wonderful kids, and it's definitely been a journey learning how to adjust your life to having kids. Is definitely one no one really prepares you for. When I had my first kid, honestly, life was a bit challenging, but I knew for sure I always wanted to be a mom. Comment down below, did you just know you were like meant to be a parent? Because for me, ever since I was a little girl, I knew I was going to be a parent, and I knew I was going to love being pregnant, which I actually do, besides the last month. I promise you, it's like sometimes as a pregnant person, you forget what you have to go through at the end of the pregnancy. And once you're at the end, it gets scary. Like, oh my gosh, there's no turning back. I have to push the baby out. But it's taken me years to adjust and learn with picky eaters and all that. But we finally got like a routine down with healthier options. I transitioned our eating probably around 2021, which was around the time my second son was born. And the eating habits that we had tons of food, but it was a lot of processed, and it was a lot of bad food for us. The transition looked like really budgeting, okay, how can we fit in the new foods, that are better for our body, in a way where it won't be using all the money we have. Currently, I am on food stamps. I use EBT and TANF benefits. Do not judge. And if you do, who cares? Because when you need help, you need help. And when you don't need help, do your best. All right. So right now I'm using that. And even with having benefits, free money, you still need to budget. You still need to use it wisely, because it has to last you. And for me, it's lasting 3 people for a whole month. So regardless of how much you have to think positive and wise about it. So for me, I started utilizing Aldi a lot. I remember one day going into Aldi, and they didn't have a lot of organic stuff. And I prayed to God, and I'm like, God, please let this store start having organic options. Their prices are good. It would be so much easier for us to manage certain meals if we had organic options here. And that was, again, this was years ago when I started praying this. And one day I just happened to go into Aldi, and what did I see? a whole bunch more organic options. It was like just a moment where I just wanted to be giddy like a little girl because I'm like, God, you listen to me. You're so attentive. So I usually get my produce from either there or from Pete's or Whole Foods if I drive. It's a bit longer of a drive, not too much, but I don't always like to like do it just cause unless I have a lot of things I want to get from there. Plus they cost more. But a lot of things I get from there. And then I had the same thing happen when I went to Target. One day I'm just like, God, I really like Target. And they have options that Aldi does not have because Aldi has their own brands and things that they use, that they partner with. But Target has way more options. So I'm like, God, bless the store to start having. Sorry if you hear Sonic in the background, my son's playing. I was like, bless the store to start having healthier organic options. And lo and behold, I remember going in there one day and seeing not only did they have healthier, um, like pantry type stuff, but like organic sugar, organic flour, organic pasta, organic so many things, or the chips and the organic coconut water because I started drinking that. But they also had organic produce, and I'm like, their prices are a little bit more, of course, than Aldi, but they're still a little less than Whole Foods, and I am continually grateful. I love to ask God for what we consider to be little and watch Him blow my mind because it reminds me how He cares so deeply about what we consider little, the little things, our mundane things in our life. He cares. And so as I'm making this plate, I realized that these strawberries that I got originally were starting to go bad. So I was only able to put like a few on each of my kids' plate. I didn't want any sausage, so I just gave them to them both. And then I got some apples. Now, Pete's, although it's a big giant store, they don't have as big of an organic section as they do other food, but they got a good section. So I went there, got some apples. They have organic apples, oranges. They have a lot of options. Plus, they have kale, which I'll be doing a video on that soon. My kids love kale. We like to cook it as if it's greens and eat it like that. But you can always just like make it into a salad. I don't like it like that. But yeah, so I just ended up cutting up an apple as well. I'm recovering from getting my tooth pulled, so I'm not eating as many things that I usually would because they might irritate me. So I didn't get any blueberries as well, just because I'm adjusting. And I also made myself some oatmeal because that's been my best friend through this recovery stage. But yeah, this is my breakfast for me and my two kids. I love making breakfast. I love making food for them. It makes me excited to see them eat, not only because I know they're taken care of, but because I just like them, I don't know, knowing that they are full and healthy and doing well, and I'm able to give them healthy options that didn't cost me too much. This is what they had. That looked good, don't it? It was good. And just so you know, there's honey all over them pancakes. Bye now.